Saying Lover is her best album and then saying Torture Poets is bottom 5 is crazy. LOML is boring until the bridge. Take that back. I don't like your attitude. I don't like your tone. I don't like your comment. Another person said she's really not all that and people need to stop. No, she is all that. Like, I feel like I need to scream from the rooftops, like, leave Taylor Swift alone. I don't understand you guys. I don't understand your mindsets. I just dropped my phone. See, my phone doesn't even want to deal with this anymore. Her music isn't good. I like a few songs, but she's just overhyped. I can't even get mad though, because like I literally was the one that was like, submit your unpopular opinions, and now I'm like, actually keep them to yourselves. Like, I don't want to know these anymore. I'm a little nervous for this video, but also everything that's about to come to me in this video, I'm asking for it. I really am asking for it. Funny how that works. I basically took to my Instagram story to ask you guys to submit all of your very, very unpopular Taylor Swift opinions, and you guys did not hold back. And maybe you should have, but also I asked for it. You know what I mean? So I can't blame anybody but myself. I'm a little nervous, but I think this should be interesting. I was gonna say fun, but I don't know if fun's the right word. I've done a lot of different videos like this, so this is the part of the video where I'm gonna tell you to follow me on Instagram, because honestly, I use you guys so much for my YouTube videos in terms of like asking questions from you guys. So if you want me to do another part of this video, or I have plenty of other videos where I go to my Instagram story to ask you guys for stuff. So follow me on Instagram, as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel. I don't want to say that my schedule is posting a new video every other day, but honestly, that's been my schedule for the last like 2 weeks. I've literally been posting a new video every other day. So maybe do me a favor and subscribe, because I'm posting a lot. Even if you don't like Taylor Swift, which if you don't like Taylor Swift, I don't know why you clicked on this video. But if you don't like Taylor Swift, I have other content that doesn't involve her. Hopefully you'll find something you like. With that being said, let's see what you guys had to say. The Torture Poets department is bottom 5 in her discography. Said no one ever. Said no one ever. Guys, let's sit and have a chat really quick. If you know me, you know Torture Poets is literally my favorite album ever. I understand. No, I don't understand, actually. It might not be for everybody. I get that. I'm trying to get that. Bottom 5 in her discography. Maybe it's because I'm so in the trenches with this album, but I can't even fathom not liking this album. I can't imagine someone listening to the Torture Poets department and thinking it's not only that it's not a good album, but that it's like objectively a bad album. I don't understand how people think that. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay, wait, hold on, because the person that submitted, Derek, this is me calling you out. Not only did he say that Torture Poets is bottom 5 in her discography, but he said that Lover is her best album, and where? Not on my planet. If anything, Lover is actually bottom 5 and Torture Poets is the best album. I love Lover. I think it's a good album as much as every other person. Like, there's just so many better albums, and Torture Poets is one of them. Don't get it twisted. Saying Lover is her best album and then saying Torture Poets is bottom 5 is crazy. It's crazy. Guys, what the hell? This is not my reality. It's never been my reality. I don't think it ever will be my reality, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. I love Superman. That makes one of us. Yeah, I can't get into that song. I don't know what it is about it. I just can't get into it. I've tried. Actually, I don't know if I have tried. I don't know if I want to, though. It's not my thing. I feel like a lot of her songs sound the same. Reputation and Lover were the only ones to me that stood out from the rest. They were the most different. Guys, what the hell is going on? Okay. I will never understand why people say all of Taylor Swift's songs sound the same, because she has one of the most, well, one, she has one of the biggest discographies out of every artist because she has so many albums, but not only that, she has so many different albums that have so many different genres. I don't understand people thinking they all sound the same, and also using Reputation and Lover as the albums that sound different is so weird to me. Reputation, I do understand, that was like a complete 180 from anything that she had ever done. Lover is the same old Taylor Swift. Again, I like Lover, so don't get it twisted, but I feel like most of the songs on Lover are songs that I feel like you can find on other albums. And that's not me saying that I think they all sound the same, but using Lover as an example of an album that sounds different from the rest literally makes no sense to me. Again, Reputation makes sense to me, but if you're gonna do a pop album, like you have to, I feel like you have to do 1989. 1989 was so different from anything she had ever done before. And also, I do have to point you to Folklore, because that was the true complete 180 from anything she had done before. And also, Midnights doesn't sound like anything she had done before. I see Midnights and Torture Poets kind of being similar because they are both very synth poppy, but before Torture Poets came out, there was nothing that sounded like Midnights. Also, Speak Now, people are always complaining, being like, we want a Taylor Swift rock album. You have it. We have it. It's gonna be a no for me, dog. Taylor's last 4 albums are on top. Well, yes. I'm glad somebody said it. So Taylor's last 4 albums are Folklore, Evermore, Midnights, and Torture Poets. Now, that's not to say that I don't love her older stuff. I love Speak Now, love Red, love Fearless, love 19. I love everything, okay? But her last 4 have just been like god tier to me. Something was in the air. For 2 of those albums, it was COVID in the air, but the other 2 albums, something else was in the air. I'm so glad this person said that her last 4 albums have been on top, because I think this is a conversation we've been needing to have for a while. People who say her most popular songs suck are not fun. Thank you so much. I don't understand, and it's not even just with Taylor, but when you like a popular song by an artist and that's one of your favorite songs, everyone automatically, well, they do 2 different things. One, they think the song sucks after it gets played for a while, which there is something to be said about a song being overplayed, but newsflash, a song being overplayed doesn't make it bad. And also, people then just say you're local, and that literally doesn't make sense to me. When Lover first came out, Cruel Summer was my favorite song on initial listen, and I think for a lot of people who are actually fans before the Eras tour felt that way. And so when it did end up having its big resurge with the Eras tour, everyone was obsessed with it for a while, and then all of a sudden everyone started turning on it, being like, actually it's not that good, it's kind of overplayed, it's kind of boring. And honestly, I just have a bone to pick with y'all, because Cruel Summer will never be overrated to me. I don't care that it was one of the biggest songs of last year and the year before, even though it came out like 3-4 years prior. I don't care, because the attention it got from the Eras tour, it should have gotten on initial release, and you guys didn't do that. I played it. Oh, I played the hell out of that song. Oh my god. But you guys weren't there. So I don't want to hear that it's overplayed or overrated now, because it's not. She always picks the wrong songs to be singles. Yeah. Sometimes I really don't understand Taylor's mindset when it comes to picking singles. Sometimes I do get it. I thought Midnight, she picked the perfect singles, leading with Antihero, then going into Bejeweled, then Lavender Haze, then Karma. Perfect choices. I think the rollout was a little weird, how the Bejeweled video came out like a week after the Antihero video. I thought that was kind of weird. But in terms of actually picking the singles, Midnight's was honestly flawless. Tortured Poets. Honestly, it remains such a mystery to me why she chose Fortnite as the single. I don't understand that. The only reason I can even think of why she wanted to do Fortnite as the single is because Post Malone is on it, and Post Malone's obviously like a huge artist in his own way. So with that in mind, like, I understand why she maybe wanted to lead with Fortnite, but nothing about the song Fortnite, and I'm saying this, I love Fortnite. I think it's honestly one of my favorite songs. I just like to listen to it, but nothing about that song is like a single. I don't really understand why that was the one she led with. If anything, I feel like we could have led with I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, because to me that really is the whole premise of Tortured Poets. It's a story about all these horrible things she was going through and how tortured she was being over the last, honestly, a couple of years. But despite everything, and despite how horrible and miserable she was, she can do it with a broken heart, and she could go through all of that while being at the top of the top, not even just the top of her own career, but like the biggest pop star and having the biggest moment in history that we've ever seen with an artist. She was able to go through all that while also having a broken heart. So I feel like when Tortured Poets came out, we definitely could have led with that, or even Down Bad. Like, that's more of an easier listen than Fortnite is. So I don't really understand why she chose that. I'm trying to think of all her other albums. I think Folklore and Evermore were good choices. Cardigan and Willow. Lover. See, Lover it's a mystery to me. It really is. Choosing Me as the lead single was a choice. You know, that's one way I would put it. Also, You Need to Calm Down was also another choice, but also I get it. Reputation is where she really fumbled the bag. Look What You Made Me Do, great single choice, good job on that. Ready For It, I don't know why she did that. Delicate, sure. Gorgeous, I don't know why she did that. Reputation just had so many single choices that we could have used. Like, why were we doing Endgame instead of Don't Blame Me or Getaway Car or I Did Something Bad? Like, there were so many better options, and I don't know why she chose the most random ones. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't think she always chooses the wrong singles, but I think she honestly more often than not chooses the wrong ones. So that's none of my business though. I don't really care for All Too Well, just don't relate to it, so I don't have a connection, but it's still a good song. I didn't relate to All Too Well until recently. What does that say about society? But even before I related to All Too Well, like, it was always my favorite on Red. That and Begin Again and Everything Has Changed, like, those were my favorites on Red for the longest time. So interesting to say that you don't care for All Too Well. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, but I have some things going on in my head. I'm just kidding. Evermore is way better than Folklore. Okay, I prefer Evermore, but I do think that Folklore is a better album. But I prefer Evermore, and I prefer the experience and the songs on Evermore. But I think in terms of an actual album, I do think Folklore is stronger. But that's just me. TS12 and Debut TV are gonna arrive before Rep TV. I'm so confused on what's going on anymore. I literally have no idea what the hell is going on anymore. I can't remember if I said this in a previous video. I think I did, but I think in editing I cut it out. But I I basically said in that video that I think we were already supposed to have had all of the re-recordings be done by now, but because she ended up writing and creating Torture Poets, debut and rep got pushed back. Like, I think if she hadn't written Torture Poets, we would have already had all the re-recordings and that would have been done by now. And honestly, I think she probably would have announced them on the Eras tour. Something in my gut is telling me that was the plan and that she, like, when initially planning the Eras tour, because it makes sense. The Eras tour was literally a marketing strategy in itself. She didn't have to do any promotion for Speak Now Taylor's version, 1989 Taylor's version, or Torture Poets, or even Midnight's really. She didn't have to promote any of those albums because all she had to do was go on the Eras tour and perform it, and that was promotion in itself. And honestly, like, that was the best kind of promotion because the Eras tour was the biggest thing in the world. With that being said, I do think we were already supposed to have had all the re-records by now, but then Torture Poets kind of messed everything up. Don't get it twisted, greatest album ever created. I have no predictions on what's coming next. If I had to guess, I would say it's probably we're gonna get the re-recordings done first and then she'd put out a new album, but I have no idea. And that's the thing though, it's like every time I think I know what Taylor's gonna do, I don't. I am very quickly reminded that I don't. Because if you would have told me we'd be getting a new album, well, that's how I felt when Midnight's came out. I was like, I can't believe she's putting out a new album after putting out Red and Fearless. I was like, what the hell? That doesn't make sense. And so then putting out Speak Now in 1989 and then putting out Torture Poets, I was like, what the hell is going on? I also, this is just my opinion, okay? I think we're gonna be lucky if we get even one of those re-recordings this year. That's my opinion. There's no signs that are pointing to the fact that she's even going to announce anything anytime soon. Not that there are always signs, because sometimes she literally just pulls things out of her ass. But I don't know, I just have a feeling, I think she realizes how overexposed she's been, and I think she realizes she needs to, like, take it down just a little bit, which is why I don't think we've seen her like at all in the last couple months. That's just my opinion though. I could be very wrong, and honestly I wouldn't be surprised if she literally announces something in a week, but I don't think that's not very likely to me. But again, I have no idea. The Torture Poets department is only popular because of the lore behind the lyrics. Interesting. Like, yeah, but also that's kind of how it is with every Taylor album. The whole Taylor Swift brand and experience that she herself has set up was, I'm writing all these songs about my life, typically about relationships that I've been in, and when you listen to these, you relate them to your own life and take my experiences and make them personal to you, but also try to figure out who they're about. That's literally the Taylor Swift experience. I don't know if the person saying this was trying to say this to be like, the album isn't good and it's only popular and only did good because of the lore. I don't know if that's what this person was trying to say, but if that's the argument, then like, I mean, like, yeah, it was only popular because of the lore, but also that's the Taylor Swift experience. Taylor Swift is not a singer, she's a songwriter, and the reason people care about her so much is because she's able to translate her own personal feelings and experiences and make you care about them. Whether you've been through the thing that she's singing about or not, she's so good at being able to make you care about everything that she's been through and make you root for her, and also make you want to tear down the people that have wronged her. I mean, I guess it was only popular because of the lore, but also that's kind of how it is with, it's kind of how it is with every Taylor album. I get that Torture Poets is like the most lore heavy. Again, that's just the Taylor Swift experience, baby. The 112-day theory is probably wrong. I don't even know what that is. I'm assuming that's another Reputation Taylor's version theory. I don't care. I'm so sorry. I said that in one of my videos and people got so mad at me. They were like, well, I just want to have fun. Like, let me like theorize and have fun. I don't care. If you truly want to do all this math and like try to figure out so badly when Taylor's announcing Reputation Taylor's version, I don't care. Like, have fun with that. I just don't care. And I'm not interested in playing the game because in my opinion, I don't think that Taylor has done anything to show that we're getting Reputation Taylor's version anytime soon. I don't think she's done a single thing that is making me believe that we're getting it anytime soon. I get that making theories and trying to theorize when Reputation Taylor's version and also debut when they're coming out, like, it's fun for some people. It's not fun for me though. Again, more power to you if that's what you want to do. What the 112-day theory is, I could not tell you. I have no idea. And honestly, I want to keep it that way. I'm gonna let y'all rock and do your thing, and I'm just gonna mind my business. And that's my journey. Lover, Speak Now, and Debut are my bottom 3 albums. Get Speak Now out of there. Don't do that to her. Don't do that to her. Lover and Debut, love them. Sorry guys, but you guys can stay down there. Don't do that to Speak Now. She doesn't deserve that. She didn't do anything, and I think you need to take her out of there, apologize, and put someone else in her replace. Who would I even replace her with? Sorry, Fearless. I'm sorry. I love Fearless, but don't do that to Speak Now. She doesn't deserve that. So many of you guys don't respect Speak Now enough, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that you do that to her. I can't imagine what it's like to listen to Speak Now and not be like obsessed with it. I think part of it too is like Speak Now. I have so many memories associated with every Taylor album, but to me, Speak Now is like, still to this day, it's one of the truest quintessential Taylor Swift albums. And for people to disrespect her and say these things about her is just so mean. Like, she doesn't deserve that. She does not deserve that. It's not even one of my favorite Taylor Swift albums personally, but I just love it so much and it means so much to me. Actually, it is one of my favorites. I think it's in my top 5. But don't do that to her. Take her out of there. Me and the Torture Poets department didn't deserve the hate it got from so many people and fans. So... You're like half correct. The Torture Poets department did not deserve the hate it got. Well, yes, we've been new, and eventually one day in the future, everybody will look back and decide we were really mean to Torture Poets, but that's not me, because I loved her from the beginning. I treated her fair. I took her out to dinner. I bought her nice clothes. I brought her breakfast in bed, and you guys didn't do that. You threw the food at her. You ridiculed her. You made fun of her, and one day in the future, you guys are gonna regret that. In terms of me, it's not my bag. It's not my bag. Listen, like, I'm not the biggest hater of me. I don't think it's like the worst song ever created, like a lot of people feel. If I hear me in public, you best believe I'm going to be screaming, I promise that you'll never find another like me. But is it something that I will willingly put on? Well, no. And I can't even really make an argument for why the song shouldn't have got hate, because sorry, like, I understand why it did get hate, and honestly, it was kind of deserved. And honestly, as much as me is like funny and cringy now to look back on, can you imagine if we got an album full of me's? And honestly, that's what Lover was kind of leading up to be. I remember when Lover was coming out, I was so concerned. Not too concerned, because I was really young when Lover came out. Not really young. How old was I? 14, 15. I was young, okay? But I remember thinking, like, this is kind of crazy. My hope to Taylor in the future is that she does another album like Lover, because I love the aesthetic of Lover. I love the rainbows and the pastels. Like, I love that, and I would love to have a really colorful era again, especially coming off of something like Torture Poets, which was so black and white and gray and sad. I would love to have another album like Lover, but I want a mature Lover. I want a really mature album, but also have it be super colorful. And we can still do the glitter and the pastels and the butterflies. I don't think she will, because she already did it. We can do something like that again, but my hope is that we do something like that, but make it super mature. So yeah, in my humble opinion, I think Red Taylor's version is only popular because of All Too Well 10-minute version. Okay, this one has me thinking, because I think it's so interesting the way the re-recordings have kind of panned out. When you look at Fearless Taylor's version and Red Taylor's version, just based on like how the public received them, it is day and night. I feel like when Taylor went into doing the re-recordings project, she kind of thought it was going to be received the way that Fearless was, which is like, yeah, the diehard fans are going to be really excited, and I'm sure it's going to onboard some older fans that were fans of her back in the day, but it wasn't going to be that big of a moment, because when we look back to Fearless Taylor's version and when that came out, it really wasn't that big of like a deal. Obviously, it did pretty well and went #1 and sold all these albums, but honestly, that's just because it's Taylor Swift. She's always going to do that, but it didn't have like that big of a moment. Honestly, I think that's what Taylor was expecting. I think she knew it wasn't going to be that big of a moment. But when it came to Red, I think Red, she just had more to offer anyway in terms of the vault tracks and marketing, like the things that she could do. Also, because Fearless came like straight after the pandemic, so I think by the time Red came out, she had more opportunities to do stuff, like the short film, for example. I don't know if I'd say it's only popular because of All Too Well, but I do think like that was a big moment for the re-recordings. I don't think Red Taylor's version would have done nearly as well, or would have become as big of a moment for Red if it wasn't for the 10-minute version of All Too Well. But it's so interesting, again, like comparing the Fearless re-recording to pretty much all 3 of the other ones, like Speak Now, Red, 1989, it's like day and night. In terms of the general public, nobody really cared about Fearless Taylor's version. And then if you look at something like 1989 literally sold more copies than the original. Do you know how insane that is? I don't think that anybody, including Taylor herself, thought that that was ever a possibility, that her re-recordings could outsell the originals. Obviously, the reason that Speak Now in 1989 specifically did really well was because they were literally coming out while she was on the Eras tour, but it's crazy. In terms of Red Taylor's version, I do think it was enhanced by All Too Well, but it would have been popular anyway because it's Taylor Swift. And I also think in general, like, obviously everybody loves You Belong With Me and Love Story, but on Fearless, that's kind of like the only songs the general public cares about, whereas I think with Red, there are a lot more songs that people were kind of interested in. So I think honestly, regardless of All Too Well, it would have been more popular than Fearless, but All Too Well obviously helped it out a lot. She's not a good songwriter. I have nothing to say to that. Clearly this person doesn't like Taylor anyway. I'm so sorry, but I genuinely do not trust people who say that Taylor Swift isn't a good songwriter, because I think you know you're lying to yourself. You just don't like it. And that's totally fine. You can say that you're not a fan of Taylor Swift or you're a fan of her songwriting, but to say that she's not a good writer factually is just not true. Again, you cannot like the writing, but everybody knows that Taylor Swift is a good songwriter, and she wouldn't be where she is now or nearly as successful at all if it wasn't for her writing. She's not a singer. She's not a vocalist. success. She's a songwriter. That's what she has going for her, and that's what's carried her throughout her whole career. If she wasn't a good songwriter, she wouldn't be where she is now, and she wouldn't have the amount of fans and support and love that she does. So again, you can not like the songwriting, and that's totally fine, and you can have that opinion, but to say that she's not a good writer, it's just not true. It's not true, and you know that. You know that. Enchanted shouldn't have been the Speak Now song on the Eras tour. To this day, I will never understand. I will never understand why she only did one song from Speak Now. And I don't think that it needed to have like a bunch of songs like Midnights or Folklore or Torture Poets. Like those are her more recent albums, so obviously she's gonna want to perform those more. But why she only did one song, like I don't understand. It literally makes no sense to me. Oh my god, wait, I just realized Sabrina said this. Hi, Sabrina. I kind of disagree with that. I think Enchanted was like the biggest song on the album. It's also like one of the fan favorites, so I'm glad it was on the set list, and I understand why it was on the set list. But if she was only gonna pick one song, I do have to point to Long Live. I really do. That song, I thank God every day. I thank God every single day that I was able to see Long Live live, because some of you guys can't say that. And honestly, I empathize, because that song was literally made for performing live, especially on something like the Eras tour. Like that was literally made for the Eras tour. But there's so many other songs on Speak Now that I feel like we could have done. Back to December, The Story of Us, Better Than Revenge. Like I don't understand. Like I don't understand why we only got one. Well, I got two, but a lot of you only got one. And honestly, only getting two is also crazy. Like, what do you mean we only got two songs? I got two songs. Some of you guys got one. And like Sparks Fly, why didn't we do Mine? Girl, wait, there's so many songs we could have done. Honestly, I think Mine would have also been a really good choice if she was only gonna do one. Like there were so many options. Again, I don't necessarily agree that Speak Now shouldn't have been the Enchanted shouldn't have been the song, but also like there were so many options we could have picked, which because there were so many options we could have picked, why didn't we just do like 5 of them? That's just me though. LOML is boring until the bridge. Take that back. Take that back. I don't like your attitude. I don't like your tone. I don't like your comment. This is mean. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't understand. Guys, this is wrong. Why would you do that to her? LOML is one of her best written songs of all time. And to say it's boring until the bridge, I mean, I get that the bridge is like the highlight and where it's really like, whoa, we're cooking. Like we're cooking with peanut oil right now. But to say it's boring until that point, no. You deserve prison for saying this. This is wrong. This is mean. I don't like this. And it's mean and it's upsetting. I wish she cut Betty instead of The Last Great American Dynasty for the Europe tour. So interesting. Honestly, yeah. Well, I got to see both of them because I was in the US leg. But if I did see the European leg of the tour, I would have preferred the Last Great American Dynasty performance was everything. And I like Betty just as much as everybody else, but the performance of Last Great American Dynasty was everything. All of the dresses, oh my god, it was so good. I'm so sorry you had to miss out on that. I apologize. Sour by Olivia Rodrigo is a better debut album than Taylor's debut. This is crazy. Like, you guys are saying some crazy thing. Here's the thing, and I want to put this into perspective for you guys because I don't think people actually understand this. Do I personally prefer Sour over Debut? Well, yes, but we're comparing apples to oranges, babe. This is apples and oranges. Sour by Olivia Rodrigo was so good because it was such a breath of fresh air for the time, and it was really cool to see a young teenage girl be able to convey her feelings and write these incredible songs. And I don't think people realize that that's exactly what happened 15, I don't know how long I think it's almost been 20 years. That's crazy. 15, 20 years ago when Debut came out. That's exactly why it was so popular and successful at the time, was because of the same exact thing. I don't think it's fair to compare Debut and Sour. Obviously, people are going to do it anyway because it's Olivia and Taylor, but we're talking two completely different eras in music. Not even era, like centuries. Centuries? No. Decades? I don't know. Yeah, decade. End of a decade, the start of it. Okay, thanks, Taylor. I wish she did any fundraising with all the fame that she has. What do you mean by fundraising? Listen, obviously I'm a swiftie, okay? But Taylor is so generous with her money, and whenever people say she's greedy, it genuinely pisses me the off. Or when people say that she needs to use her fame and her power and her money in a good way, because she does. She has since the very beginning of her career. Literally every single stop on the Eras tour, she would donate to food banks, she would donate to shelters, she would donate to organizations. Her entire career, she's always visited hospitals with sick children. She's always made a concerted effort to reach out to families that are in need, or, you know, fans of her. She would surprise fans. She would buy gifts for fans. Like, she's been so generous with her money. Did you not see at the Grammys this year? She was literally tipping all of the workers, and she's known for doing this. She even at like the football games, like all the workers would say she does this. She always tips people like hundreds of dollars. There's literally a video of her at the Grammys where she was tipping all of the workers hundreds of dollars. She just pulls out wads of cash and is like, thank you, like I appreciate you. And also like all of the workers at the football games were like, she's so generous, like she would always tip us so much. She tipped every single person that worked for her on the Eras tour. She tipped them like I think it was like $250,000 each. She tipped all her truck drivers like $50,000 or $100,000. Listen, you can not like the music and that's totally fine, but you will never convince me that Taylor Swift is a bad person, because she's not. I'm sorry, maybe it's the parasocial relationship really coming out, but there's never been a single person that has ever come out and said anything negative about her in her entire career. Even people who don't like her have come out and been like, yeah, honestly, I wasn't really a big fan of her, but she's so nice and so kind and so generous. And when I say, by the way, like nobody has anything bad to say about her, I don't mean like people on Twitter. Like obviously people are going to be horrible, and also like Kanye West doesn't count because he's psychotic, so we're forgetting about him. But nobody ever has anything bad to say about her except for like losers on the internet. And it's literally been like this her entire career. This isn't a new thing. This isn't a new phenomenon. This isn't just going on recently. It's been like this since the very beginning of time in her career. I'm so sorry, but you will never convince me that she's a bad person or that she's not generous with her money. And I do kind of just have to push back with the person saying that they wish she did fundraising, because she does enough. Obviously she can always do more, but she's also not obligated to do anything in the first place. And also she does more than pretty much every other celebrity. And I rest my case. I don't like Cardigan. Guys, I don't understand. I don't understand you guys. I don't understand your mindsets. I just dropped my phone. See, my phone doesn't even want to deal with this anymore. I can't even get mad though, because like I literally was the one that was like, submit your unpopular opinions, and now I'm like, actually keep them to yourselves. Like I don't want to know these anymore. I don't have anything to say to that, because Cardigan is one of the greatest songs of all time. She's annoying. You're annoying. You're annoying. Honestly, people hate on Swifties and they think that we're so annoying. I think people who don't like Taylor Swift are so much more annoying than people who do like Taylor Swift. Obviously, I'm saying this and people are going to be like, you're biased because you like Taylor Swift. But people who don't like Taylor Swift and make it a concerted effort to not talk about Taylor Swift are more obsessed with her and talk about her more than I do. And I'm a massive Swiftie. And that to me is so whack. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, another person said she's terrible. Why? Literally, and the thing is I can't even ask why, because they never have a reason. Again, if you don't like her music, that's totally fine. It's not for everybody. It's for a lot of people, and that's why she's so popular and successful and the biggest artist ever. But if it's not for you, that's totally fine. But when people are like, she's annoying, she's terrible, she's overrated, why? And I can't even ask you why, because nobody ever has a reason. They always just come back and saying like, I just don't like her music. And it's like, okay, that doesn't mean she's terrible or that she's horrible or she's annoying. You just don't like her music. People just always project their feelings towards Taylor Swift, and I don't understand why she's the punching bag in society. There's so many other people that we can be coming at and like directing your hate and anger towards. Not that I think you should be doing that to anybody, because like, see a therapist. But if anybody should be getting it, it's not Taylor Swift. I'm so sorry to tell you. Another person said she's really not all that and people need to stop. No, she is all that. She is all that, and that's why she's as popular and successful as she is. I'm getting so defensive, but genuinely, leave her alone. Leave her alone. Like, I feel like I need to scream from the rooftops, like, leave Taylor Swift alone. Her music isn't good. I like a few songs, but she's just overhyped. She's not overhyped. That's not working with me. We've already gone into this too much in the last couple questions, so I'm not going to get into it. But all I'm going to say is that there's a reason she's as popular as she is, and if you personally don't connect with that, that's fine, but you can't say that she's overrated just because you personally don't understand it, because you are not the dictator of who should be popular and who shouldn't. You have your own opinions, and that's totally fine. You can have those opinions, but you can't say, well, I hate this artist and I think she's overrated and not good because I don't like the music, because clearly you're outnumbered, because clearly so many other people do like the music. And in that regard, the music obviously has to be good if this many people like it. Notate negativity in this video. I'm not having it. Lover is my least favorite. It doesn't really have a vibe like the rest of them. It's gay people, love, and my mom's dying. Whoa, that's a crazy way to word it. The mom dying part, like, we don't need to say that, because that song is obviously very important to her and it was something she needed to write. Everything else though, I kind of agree. The thing with Lover is she was trying so bless her heart, honestly. She was trying so hard to be this gay icon. And the problem is that she already kind of was before trying to, you know, be this big advocate for the LGBTQ plus community. And then when she tried to do that, it kind of just backfired because people were like, we don't know what you're doing. I don't know. I feel like gay people already loved Taylor Swift before she was trying to be like the spearhead for the gay community. And then when she was trying to do it, people were like, this is weird. Like, what are you doing? I don't know. Lover is such an interesting album to me. In my opinion, Lover has some of her best songs, but it also has some of her complete duds, and it's very interesting to me. The Torture Poets Department Standard Edition is better without the anthology, and there are some unnecessary songs on it. I do personally prefer the Standard Edition of Torture Poets, and honestly I do kind of agree some of the songs on the anthology are unnecessary, but I'd only say like 2 or 3 of them are unnecessary. I think everything else on the anthology really does enhance the storyline of Torture Poets, and it's all a really good blend. I mean, I guess I do agree with this because this person only said some of the songs are unnecessary, so yeah, honestly I do kind of agree. Red is one of her best albums. True. Olivia Rodrigo is Tay daughter, not Gracie. Yeah, and it sucks because we are never gonna see Olivia Rodrigo, maybe not ever, but we're never gonna see her being a swiftie anymore. And honestly, I don't even know that that has to do with like beef that they've had, but also swifties were so terrible to Olivia when she was being very vocal about it. So honestly, I do think it was in Olivia's best interest to kind of stop talking about it, but it's obviously very sad because Olivia was such a big swiftie. Not everything she posts is an Easter egg for something. True. Again, if you want to do the Easter egg hunting and the creating of theories, like, more power to you. Hope you have fun with that. Happy for you, or sorry that happened. It's just not for me. That's not why I became a swiftie or why I am a swiftie, is so I can just spend my time and day like theorizing and trying to do math on when she's gonna do something next. I'm here for the music and whenever it comes. I actually like the lyric change in Better Than Revenge. I don't mind it. No, I do. I think she should have kept it. I understand why she didn't though, but also I don't think the lyric change did anything. Her whole point in changing the lyric was because the original lyric was misogynistic. Changing the lyric, like, that doesn't like erase the past of the original one, so you might as well have just kept it, in my opinion. But I understand why she changed it. The cover from Debut is the ugliest of them all. I mean, like, yeah, but also it was like 15 years ago. She obviously didn't have the resources or the money that she does now to make a really good album cover. I think it's a good album cover, and I don't think it's aged really that bad, despite it being like 15, I don't even know how many years old. I keep saying 15 years old. I think it's actually aged pretty well. I'm so interested to see the Debut re-recorded cover. I'm just so intrigued with Debut because it's gonna be literally the most insane thing to hear Taylor sing those songs now. I'm very intrigued. Okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore because some of them were just a little too much for me. I did have a lot of fun with this video. Ow! Oh my god, I thought I just broke my nail. I need to go. Clearly, there's too many things going on. I had a lot of fun with this video, and I hope you guys had fun with me. Thanks for submitting some of those. Actually, thanks to some of you. Not all of you, because I didn't need to read some of those. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want me to do another part of this, I don't know if I want to put myself through this again, because honestly, my feelings are kind of hurt, and I'm not even Taylor, so we'll see. But I love you so much. Subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram. Okay, I love you. I'll see you guys probably in like a day, so subscribe, please. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.